Jay Horowitz special edition of Amazing Conversations with my good buddy Butch Huskey from Lawton, Oklahoma. But Butch, what do you remember about April 15th, 1997? We were fortunate enough to officially retire number 42 at Shea Stadium. Full house. You were 42. You were lucky enough to be grandfathered into your work but mostly the rest of your career. What do you remember about that day, Butch?
I'll probably never forget that day, Jay. The president was there, Miss Rachel Robinson was there, and
Who's 101
just
now, Butch?
I know it.
Yeah.
Boy, that's amazing. And I just remember the whole atmosphere as a feeling that throughout my professional career that I didn't have, especially with the president being there and all the Secret
And the
Service and
commissioner
police
was
that
there.
were.
Commissioner Seelig
The
was there.
commissioner was there
Yeah.
also. But those are the things that jump out at me. And then when they announced that they're retiring the number, and I was able to get grandfathered in, that was such a special moment. And I still have that jersey with her autograph on it.
It's good to be part of history like that with something good and pure. And it was nice to be again in the beginning. We're playing the Dodgers, which was Jackie's team. So his debut was 53, uh, 77, 77 years ago, April 15th that he made his debut. When you think back, what did that mean to you? To be a part of that, with knowing what Jackie had to go through, to what he did.
Oh, it was probably not. I mean, it meant a lot to me, but it probably meant a lot to every one of the people with color in Major League Baseball then, because he had started it and he had gone through a lot of things just for us to be able to play the game. And I believe that he was the right person for it because his temperament was a lot different than most other people's temperament. And I don't believe that I could have been able to do that.
That was hard. I must have seen the Jackie Robinson story 9 million times, and the stuff he went through, especially from the Philadelphia manager, I forgot his name, and the taunts from the stands. What makes me proud, Butch, that Gil Hodges managed the '69 team. He just got into the Hall of Fame. Who was one of Jackie's defenders, and his wife. The late Vince Scully told me a story that they went in St. Louis one time, and they poured beer on Jackie, and Gil went right beside him. So Gil was a hell of a man. But I just imagine, going to every city, and it had to be a certain kind of man to do what he did.
Well, of course. I mean, to not be able to sit with your teammates and eat a meal and not be able to drink out of the same water fountain when you're in a hotel. And some hotels didn't even let him stay in the hotel. And, that it takes a special person to be able to do something like that. But he was on a bigger mission than just Jackie Robinson. And that bigger mission was future guys playing Major League Baseball and not having the issues and the problems that he had.
But you told me this story a million times. When you were a junior in high school, you wrote an essay what Jackie Robinson meant to you. But how does a young man from Lawton, Oklahoma, pick up the vibes from that? You're in the middle of America. I mean, how do you come to write an essay about Jackie Robinson?
Well, it actually wasn't a suggestion of my own. My English teacher suggested that I write this paper because she knew about Jackie Robinson and she knew that I loved baseball.
Really?
Well, we had a term paper, and God rest her soul, Miss Edens, she was the one that recommended me to do it. And I looked up and started reading up on Jackie Robinson, and then that's how it all became about.
What remember what the one thing your paper said?
Well, I put in there at the end of everything that if I was ever fortunate enough to play Major League Baseball, then that would be the number of my choice, number 42.
Right. How about the? I remember go back to that night in April at Shea. the security was unbelievable. I had to get in early. It was like a Secret Servicemen all over the field and the locker room. And we had the president and Rachel in the locker room. So it was a crazy but good kind of night.
It was awesome. It was an unbelievable night. And then, when the game started, they're sitting in the dugout, the Secret Service, and he's got his big giant duffel bag down there by the dugout. And I happened to ask him what was in there. I said, "You got bats in that bag?" He said, "If I have to go in this bag, you get down and don't look up." And I
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, you don't have to worry about me looking up."
And after the game, Rachel went into the locker room, if I remember, and everybody kept their jersey, right? I mean, the players. Or how did it work? You got another jersey? I forgot how that worked, Butch.
Well, I took the jersey that I wore that game and had her sign it, and it's now framed and on the wall in my house.
Yeah, but what do you think about where we are? I know we've made some strides. I don't want to make this a political thing, but what do you where do you think we are now? Would Jackie be happy the way things are in Major League Baseball? Would he still think that we still have a lot to do?
Um, that's really a touchy subject, but I don't know if he would be happy or not with what he's going through because there's a lot of people of color in Major League Baseball with the Latino community. But as far as American born African American players, there's not many at all, Jay. And
Yeah,
that's
what?
just
That's a good point, Butch.
it's disheartening to see.
What happened? What do you think? You know who was a big proponent of getting more black players? Curtis Granderson. That was one of his talking points. Is it the soccer? Is it the football? The other sports on TV? What do you think that is now?
Well, Jay, I'll tell you my opinion of what it is. I think it's all this travel baseball at the younger age because more of the African American kids can't afford to play.
Right.
They can't afford to play. And by the time they're 12, 13, 14, 15-year old and they want to go out and play with the school, they're left behind. They're so far behind the other kids that it's disheartening to them. And they're not trying to play because they see the gap that they just can't compete with them because they're not getting a chance to play at the 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old age. And that's all because of this travel ball that's just exploded the last 10 years, 15 years in
Just
Little
those are
League
good.
Baseball.
But how many kids do you have?
3,
You have the girls, boys. What's the ages and stuff?
1 boy, 2 girls,
And what are their ages?
uh, 29, 19, and 9, Jay.
So, so the 9-year-old still plays.
No, she doesn't play. My middle daughter and my son played. My middle daughter, she played softball up until she went to school at OU, and she's in college now.
So, did you coach them?
Yeah, yes, I did. Yes, I
Yeah.
did. And I coached them, and I tried to get as many kids out there as possible at as low a cost as possible because I never wanted the kid to not have an opportunity to play. So we did a lot of fundraising for our girls where we could buy uniforms and buy balls and helmets and all that good stuff.
And you still coach, didn't you? Weren't you at the last time we spoke? You were at a tournament. You were playing all games all day. What kind of a tournament was that?
It was a baseball tournament. I'm now coaching baseball, my godson's little 12U team. Actually, we're 11U and we play 12U. And I'm coaching his team since my daughter graduated and went on to college. I changed back over from softball to baseball, and we're having a great time with the baseball team.
Do these kids know who you are, and do they know you played in the major leagues? I mean, you tell them.
That doesn't matter to them, Jay. I'm
No,
just good old coach. But I will tell you the name of my team is the B-42 Bombers.
I tell you a funny story. David Wright has got 3 little kids. He's coaching one of his daughter's softball teams, and they were at a home plate exchanging lineup cards one day, and a woman, man, I forget what it was, says to David, uh, "How do you know a lot? You know a lot about baseball? What's your background in baseball?" And David said, "Well, I dabbled a little." So I don't know if you got a chance to meet David all through the years.
Oh, I love David.
I
David's a
mean,
good guy.
he's a good guy. He never well, he could have dropped on him. The 7 All-Star team games I played in, that's never been big, but you enjoy the coaching part of it, Butch?
Oh, I do until you get those unruly parents sometimes. And I've been told a lot of things myself. I've been told that by a kid that my dad doesn't teach me that way.
Oh boy. What did
And he's no longer on our team. If you,
so hard, yeah.
yeah,
You know?
but it's fun because you still can put an impression on these little guys,
Yeah.
and these little guys understand, and the parents that are with you and behind you respect you 100%. And I coach my kids hard, Jay. I mean, I don't let up on them. I'm making sure we're doing all the fundamentals that need to be done. Everything that Felix Millan and Chuck Hiller and
Yeah.
all those guys did to me, that's what I do with my young guys.
You bring up Chuck Hiller. Yeah, I don't know if you know, we were gonna retire Darryl and Doc's number this year.
Right, I heard that.
And and Chuck Hiller was Straw's first manager in Kingsport, and he just raves about him, just raves about you. Chuck was an old-time baseball guy, and he had my interaction with him. But let me just remember a little mention baseball with you. Your first game, September 8th, 1993. Darryl Kyle pitches a no-hitter. That's your first. What did you think after pitching going against Darryl Kyle with a no-hitter in 1993?
Well,
Well,
I thought to myself in the beginning, first of all, I didn't show up to the ballpark in Houston until 7 p.m. Game starts at 7:30. And
wow,
then
I didn't remember that.
I look on the lineup card, and Dallas Green has me in the lineup.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I'm nervous already, Jay. I'm in the bathroom. Nobody knew, but I was in there puking and throwing up. And so we get into the game, and game goes on. Darryl Kyle throws a no-hitter, and I went and after the game, I went and talked to my dad. I said, "That look, if every day's gonna be like this, I'm gonna be home pretty soon again." I said, "This isn't gonna work for me."
That's crazy. Gets here a half hour before the game. The guy throws a people don't remember
And,
Blake
and
Darryl Kyle.
Dallas ended up apologizing to me for
You
that,
did?
for putting me in the lineup. Yeah, he
Yeah,
said,
And Darryl could Lake Darko was a right-handed pitcher, so it wasn't even a lefty. He got to hit against. But I was looking at your career, and you were kind of unfortunate that we never really found a spot for you. You made, if my memory may be correct, you had 3 opening day starts, 2 at right field, 1 at third base. Is that good? Did I screw it up?
"No, that's right. That's right."
And every time you were set in a position, we moved Jeff Kent. We brought Fonzie up. Ray Ordonez came up. We got Bobby Benini came in the picture. So you never really had a set position. You kind of jerked you around, for lack of a better word. Is that
Well,
fair?
I did. I had to learn those positions to be able to go to the big leagues, and I was willing to do that to be able to get to the big leagues. And I thought once I get there, I can play. But unfortunately, Jay, learning all those positions in the long run of a career, it kind of hurt me because I was labeled as a utility player and not an everyday player. But that first time in right field, I had never played in the outfield. We get to opening day, and I'm in right field, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope they don't hit this ball out here.
So was the first batter hit it to you? How long did it take for somebody to hit one to you?
I'm not sure how long it took, but I worked my tail off to learn how to play the position. Then played left field a little bit, so I got accustomed to playing out there. So it
But I
really
mean, you never, we were going to start this way. You played a little first base too, also with Rico, right? I mean, for your
yes, sir,
brother.
yes,
Yeah.
sir. John Olerud, I rotated in and out with those guys. So it wasn't bad. I mean, it was a avenue for me to get to the big leagues, and I had to do it, and I made the choice to do it because I wasn't going to tell them, no, I don't want to play those positions. Who am
Yeah.
I to tell them, no, I want to get to the big leagues and play in the big leagues.
But in 1997, great year, 287, 24, 81. I mean, a great year. I mean, You had that had to be good memories. And out here, I remember correctly, you hit a ball into the 600 deck in Philadelphia. Only a couple of guys have done that.
Yes, sir. I think I was the only one to do it in left field, but I think
Yeah.
Jim Thome and uh, maybe Willie Stargell did it in
Willie
right field.
Stargell.
So that's one of the memories I'll always have, and I'll always have the first home run off Hideo Nomo when he won Rookie of the Year that year.
Yeah, but what do you tell? Did the kids ask questions about Jackie? I mean, are you going to talk to them at all when we get to April 15th, or how are you going to address that, or will you?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm open for all the questions, but just like my team now, I tell them about Jackie Robinson, and I've already had a couple kids go read books on Jackie Robinson, or they read their phones now. They don't read books.
Nobody reads books. Nobody.
Yeah,
Well, they're on the Kindle, right, Butch?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but looking back, I mean, '97 was a great year, and I was a little part of it. I mean, I just can remember the excitement of the stadium. You don't really get the president and the Rachel Robertson and the commissioner, and and every time Jackie Robinson comes along, it makes me proud that the Mets were there in the beginning. We were part of it, and every April 15th to wear the 42s, and it makes me proud to be been a small part of that thing.
Oh,
You
it
know,
makes me unbelievably proud to see that, especially with every player on the field wearing number 42. That's the ultimate tribute to a guy that went through so much to be able to play Major League Baseball. And I'm so happy that the commissioner and Major League Baseball and everybody got on board with it, and everyone does it. It's
see, so
I
the
love
only other Met to where was grandfathered in was the great Mo Vaughn,
Mo
who wore
Vaughn.
it a couple of years after you, because he was grandfathered in from the Red Sox. I think Rivera was. I don't know. Do you remember these? Somebody Mariano Rivera was you,
I
Mo
think
Vaughn.
Tom Goodwin also.
Yeah, Tom, good guy. Tom is a good
Yes.
guy. But looking back, which in Oklahoma, do you follow the Mets at all? How do you? Is it hard to follow me on TV? I know what the stuff you got going on. Do you follow
That,
what's going
that's
going
the
on?
only team I follow, Jay. I watch everybody else, but I follow the Mets because, you know, the Mets gave me my opportunity to do what I wanted to do as a young man and have all the things that I have to this day. And the Mets are my number one team. You know, we've had some ups and downs the last few years, but the new ownership, I hope we can get it turned around and have a good.
Yeah, they will. They're committed to winning, and I think, they're not going to. Steve Cohen and his wife Alex want to win, and they're going to do everything they can to make us win. Hey, Butch, listen, it's a great story. I always enjoy speaking to you around this time, and a lot of good stuff you did, and I'm glad to be your buddy. And
Thanks, Jay. Love you, man.